Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I guess I'm the only one on. I'm going to give people a couple of minutes to get in, and then I'm going to start. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Randomly Speaking. Of course, this is your host, Kat, and my co-host will not be joining us this evening. But she may tune in. Stay awake for that. I just want to say to everybody, happy Friday. Another week that is gone, and another day that is almost over, but we still have an opportunity to live in this moment and in this moment here. And whatever didn't happen this morning and whatever didn't work out in your favor this morning, just know that this evening God has a bigger blessing for you. So keep living. Keep living. That's what, if you're going to see the end, you have to keep living. Because if you're just going to give up and throw in the towel when something happens, then you won't see the ending result of what your day is going to look like. So if your day don't start out good, and I just want to give someone some inspiration. If your day don't start out good, if you don't start off on a good note, just keep living through that moment. As long as God breathes air in your body, keep living that day. And you'll see what will happen before that day is over. Hi, everybody. Hi, Paula. Just want to give a shout out to everybody that's coming on. I always try to get on 2 minutes before so I can give people time to come on. And, let's get into our show. We have another minute before 7 p.m. A lot of people know I come in on 7, so they're not on as yet. But I just want to say hello, everybody. This is Randomly Speaking. Tonight we're going to be talking about relationships and suffocating in a relationship. But first I want to get a little people on and just greet everybody for a minute or two, see how everyone is doing. Check in with me. If you're not doing okay, hey, say, listen, Kat, I'm not doing okay. Today is not an okay day. And let's talk about it for a minute or two before I get into my show. This is what my show is all about. It's all about talking about it, getting it out. So no matter what my show is about, I really like to check in with my listeners and see how you guys are doing. And the one who are watching and stuff like that, because a lot of us are going through a lot of things, and although we don't broadcast it, we might not talk about it, but it's alive and it's real, so I like to check in with everybody. And if you're not having such a good gold day, just say, hey, my day ain't all that gold. I'm not having a good gold day. And, I feel you. If you need prayer, just let me know at the end of this. If I can hit you up on Messenger and pray for you, I will do that too, because my job don't stop as what God appointed me to do, because I am on Randomly Speaking, so I still do the work of God, no matter where I go. So just want to let everybody know that. Again, welcome to Randomly Speaking, you all. Welcome to Randomly Speaking. It's so good that you are on and you are watching. So again, I'm just trying to give a few people time to get on. A lot of people hit me up and say, hey, what time you on? Or hey, what time you getting on? Or what's going on? And different things like that. So I let them know what time I'm on. They want reminders and stuff, but it's so hard for me to get reminders when I'm on here. But I do send out my link to everybody probably an hour or so before the show in the evening. And also, if you hit on your notification on your Facebook page and your settings, anytime I come on, it will alert you. So you will not miss Randomly Speaking when it comes on and go live. Okay? Just want everyone to know that. If you hit notifications, it will notify you when I get on, or anytime I get on and post anything or saying anything. It will alert you, and you'll be, hey, Miss Dora, how you doing? Hey, sis, hey, Raquel, how you doing? Welcome to Randomly Speaking this evening, everybody. Again, if there's anybody that's not having a gold day, G-O-L-D day, and you're just not feeling so hot and you bloom, say so. Be transparent. That's what we're here for. You know me, I'm Randomly Speaking. I talk about just anything. So if you're not having hi Tara, if you're not having a so gold day, just let me know. Just put it down and know, hey, this day hasn't been going good for me. And if you need prayer at the end of the show, just let me know. I will definitely do that for you. But if you have something that's going on, you want to talk about it, let's talk about it. That's what we're here for. Maybe you'll find your answers in people sharing their story and their testimonies about what they went through. And that's what I do. A lot of people inbox me and say, hey, Kat, can you talk about this? Can you talk about that? And I try to put it out there for the platform so people can be able to, get an opportunity to hear the stories. And we are, and I want to say that again, we are here with our testimonies. I got people alerting me, telling me that am I on? Yes, I am on, everybody. Give it out there. Hey, Godson, how you doing? Welcome to Randomly Speaking. Glad you're here. Again, the number to call in is 240-661-7539. And I put my number up. I want you guys to call in because a lot of times when we get the show going and you send me messages, it's so hard for me to read them because my co-host is not with me. And I'll do my best to try to read them and try to answer you all. But the best thing to do, dial that number. You'll get me personally, and we can talk about it. I know a lot of people are shy. A lot of people don't want to just call the number. Trust me, if you call me, caller, you don't have to say your name. Only thing you have to do is say, I'm from, if you want. Or just say, hey, I'm here tonight, and just let me know what's going on, and we can talk about it. Okay? Just let y'all know that because I'm a very private person at times, too. So I get it. A lot of people don't want everybody to know what's going on in their life. Trust me. I get it totally and completely. Hey, sis. Hi, Dottie. How you doing, sis? So it's good to see everybody tonight. So our topic tonight, I want to get right into our topic. But wait. First, let me say to everybody tonight, I just want you to know I'm always constantly praying for you all. I know everybody got a lot going on. And everything that's going on in this world today, we all need to remember who our higher power is, if that's what we serve. And I just want to say to you tonight, I will definitely keep everybody in prayer, and we will definitely always remember those who have lost loved ones on the way with the COVID-19 and a lot of illnesses that's going on behind this. And a lot of us are not able to see family members that are leaving here with the COVID and stuff like that. Hey, April. So I just want everybody to know that I get it, and I am here for that cause. And if you need, like I said, if you need to talk to me after the show, just send me an inbox and we can talk. If you need prayer, I will definitely be here to do that for you. Okay. Okay. So let's start. Now, it is my topic tonight is suffocating in a relationship. I'm suffocating in this relationship. How many of you has suffocated in a relationship, or maybe in a relationship right now, and you're suffocating and you feel trapped? How many of y'all tonight are feeling that way and have felt that way in some type of relationship? It could be being at home, being a teenager, you at home and your parents are suffocating you in that household because maybe something is going on. You had a loved one or a family member or even a sibling that has passed with something. You know, a lot of times as parents, we get overbearing when we lose a child to gun violence, or we lose a child to illness, or we lose a child to multiple things out here. And then we suffocate that other child because we don't want those other children to go through the same thing. So you could be suffocating in your home. So if you are a teenager out there, or you are a young adult and you're still at home, or you're just going to college and your parents call you every 5 minutes, or your parents call you every 2 seconds to want to know where you are and what you're doing, that is a form of suffocating. And if you feel suffocating, if you feel that they're overbearing, know that they have all good intentions, you know, when it comes to our parentals, and they just want to make sure that you're okay. But there's a way that you can talk to them to let them know that, hey, I'm okay. Let's work out this strategy. Let's see what we can do. Have a plan. Talk about it. You know, we have a college student, my wife and I, that's going off to school. One is staying in town going to school. One is going to Howard, and the other one is going away to North Carolina. So, you know, with that twin that's going away, we are feeling that, you know, oh my God, we don't want to suffocate her. We don't want her to be afraid to live her life. We don't want her be afraid to explore her options after she graduated high school with over a 4.0, I think a 4.2 or 4.4 grade point average. We want her to excel. We want her to go out there and experience the good and the bad, but learn how to typically deal emotionally with what is going on. So we definitely want to remember that in that process. So I just want you all to take a minute and to know and to understand that our children are going to go, they're going to do, they're going to be, but we have to allow them to be. And again, suffocating in a relationship. How many of y'all have a partner or had a partner or someone in a relationship that made you feel suffocated? And I'm going to read the definition to suffocate. It means to die or cause to die from lack of air or inability to breathe. Do you know someone can suffocate you in your every move without even putting their hands on you? You can feel suffocated. It doesn't even have to be a physical thing. Doesn't even have to be an abusive thing, but you to feel suffocated in a relationship. Someone who shares your bed, someone's supposed to be sharing that relationship with you. You can feel so suffocated in that relationship. Every time you're on the phone, they want to know who you're on the phone with. You never gave them a reason to make you think that you was cheating on them because they have those insecurities themselves. They are needing to feel like they have some type of control or power. So they suffocate you, or feeling the cause to feel trapped or oppressed. How many of y'all ever been in that type of relationship where you have feelings of being suffocated, like someone is strangling you and holding you hostage? Trapped, meaning preventing someone from escaping from a place. Having something, typically a part of their body, held tightly by something so that they cannot move or be free. Sometimes you don't even have to feel that that person is holding on to you to feel trapped. Sometimes it can be that control that they have, the way they look at you, or the way that they use a tone of voice to hold you hostage or captive. You better not answer that phone. You're not going out with your girls tonight, or you're not going out with your boys tonight. Women do that to men too. How many of y'all know that women can be possessive over their men or even over their spouses in that relationship? Because in a LGBT world, we do feel that as well. For even those in that relationship, like with my wife, I don't have that type of relationship. I could say in the beginning, both of us was jealous if we, do certain things without each other. But I'm telling you, it was really bad where we used to argue because she wants to go to New York, but don't want me to go to New York. Or I want to do something and she don't want me to do it because I tell her I want to go do it by myself. It is okay to be in a relationship or marriage and have your own separate friends and your own separate life outside that marriage. You cannot be with that person 24 hours, 7 days a week, because trust me, you both would drive one another crazy and it won't be a relationship. So we had to have a talk, a really serious talk, and say, yo, you know what? You're going to have friends. You have your sisters. You have a life that you want to live outside of me. I came into your life and we got married, and we should be an addition to each other's lives. We should be an enhancement to what we all have already. So we had to learn to be able to adapt to the way of thinking, saying that, oh, okay, you're going to New York this weekend? Hey, babe, I'm going to go to New York this weekend. What are your thoughts? Do you have anything planned for us? Are we doing anything? No. Okay, it's okay to go. It's not that you asking permission. You giving respect of that person to tell them this is something that you want to do, and then in return that individual is saying, what are your thoughts on that? What do you think? Did you have something planned? Is it something that you want to do? Well, I really want to go and do this with my girlfriends or my homegirl or whomever. So you get that opportunity to do so that you won't feel that. And then and again, and another relationship wise, we have to be transparent, and we have to say, in relationships, we're not mind readers. So therefore, if my wife want to do something in particular without me, I need to be able to say, okay, babe, go ahead and do it. But if she doesn't tell me, let's do a role play. Hey, babe, I want to go hang out with one of my girlfriends or one of my exes. Let me throw that into the game. Okay, her and the ex been friends 10 years before she got in a relationship with me. You understand what I'm saying? You're not sure, you don't know. If you're not sure, say you're not sure. Say, I don't know about that. Let's talk about that. Don't say do whatever you want, and then all of a sudden your significant other go out and be with that friend or be with that ex. Hey, Capri, and then, oh, what's going on, sis? And then all of a sudden, they come home when they come back, and then you just accusing them of all kind of stuff, or you saying, why did you go out? And then all of a sudden, down the line, 2 weeks later, y'all arguing about something that happened 2 weeks ago. Why? Because you wasn't honest with your feelings. You have to be honest in that relationship with that significant other so that that person won't feel like they need to be under you every minute of the day. And then you have those unhealthy relationships where people are feeling very possessive. So a possessive boyfriend or girlfriend seeks control. They want to manipulate you into doing some things that you don't want to do. They want to take your feelings. They don't take your feelings into consideration. And this often because they are insecure themselves. By controlling you, they get the gratification out of feeling whole, complete, how can you say, strong, in control. You understand what I'm saying? So some people who have that low self-esteem, or some people who have those deep insecurity feelings, they want to hold you captive to that. They want to be controlling every step of the way. So in order for us to have those healthy relationships, we have to communicate. We have to begin to let go of some of our old experiences, our old things that we used to do in order to get into that new relationship and be at peace with whatever is going on. So that's why I'm saying that suffocating can be really, really harmful in a relationship when we are not honest and truthful, or when we allow it to go on for so long. If you notice signs like that, if you notice every time your phone rings and this person is asking you, who is that on the phone? You come in the room, you're texting someone and somebody's saying who you're texting, or even if you're on the phone with your boss or you're working late, they want to know why you got to work late. Those are signs. And trust me, we ignore those signs when we are in love and we are in lust with each other, or we are feeling each other. We ignore those signs of abuse, or we ignore those signs of someone who's being controlling, someone who's being abusive, and because that's right, too insecure. That's right, Shannon. And we want to think that they love us too much. How many of y'all ever heard that? Oh, he do that because he loved me so much, or she does that because she loves me so much. Not always. I tell people, love me enough to let me go. I'm that type of chick. How many of y'all are that type of chick? Come on, let me see some hearts. Let me see. I need y'all to talk to me. Let me see some hearts. Let me see some love on this. I want y'all to also like and share. If you like what you're hearing, I want y'all to like and share, because this is so important, because y'all could be giving something to somebody else that they may need that's tuning in. So if you are like me, I don't like to be conducted. I don't like my life to be conducted. I don't like you to be on my heels or on my back every time I turn around. Give me some wiggle room. Let me be me. I don't want to, I don't want people to suffocate me. I don't want that, because after a while they will leave that relationship because of that. So we have to be careful how we treat our spouse or our loved ones in a relationship. Now, if they give you a reason to clock them like that, ask yourself, do you really need to be with that person? You ask yourself, if you have somebody in your relationship that you don't trust, every time you turn around, they up to something, you understand? And I'm talking about some real cause here. Then maybe you need to ask yourself, is this the person that you need to be with? Maybe y'all need to have a conversation. Because those things are not healthy when we are overly possessive over something. Those things are not healthy, and we have to check ourselves, And one thing that I know about, myself, I don't like people to say, oh, girl, I love you to death. Baby, ooh, I love you to death. Please don't tell me that, because you're going to make me run. Don't love me to death. Love me enough to let me go. So if something don't work out and we need to part, love me enough to let me go. I'm all right with that. Because again, when we get into relationships, we should get into relationships, and that person should be an addition to who you already are, because you're supposed to love yourself that much. So they're supposed to bring something to the table to enhance what you're feeling, not bring something to the table that they can give you that makes you whole and complete. You have to be whole and complete on your own. So when they leave, they won't leave you incomplete. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? When someone comes into your life, you already have to be whole and complete. Because when that person is not there, what are they leaving? An empty shell? You become empty? Oh yeah. Love them enough, yeah, it'll hurt. You'll go through some things, but you will begin again. You will begin to live again. You will begin to start over. You will begin to start anew. You will begin to love again. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what real love is. That's what self-esteem does for you. allow you to see yourself, in everything that you're doing, so that you will feel empowered, so that you know that you got this. Even if, I remember when my wife and I was moving in with each other, after a year, we lived in separate places, and we, got together. We was at each other's house and stuff. We lived in separate places for almost over a year before it was time for me to renew my lease, before we moved into another, our townhouse together. And we had some deep conversations, because I had some problems with that. I had a lot of problems with that. And I'm quite sure she had problems with that too, because we both was trying to make a decision what was right for the kids, yes, because we had children, both of us. But what was right for us too. Because if you're scared to lose what you have, because we both are independent. We both are Cancerians. She's a July Cancer. She's a whole other element. I am a June Cancer. I'm a whole other species. And I know that. So a lot of times we don't think the same. But we can thrive together, because we both bring something to the table that we both feed off of. And that's what makes us successful in a lot of things. So my thing is saying that is that you have to, weigh your difference. So when we both was getting into a relationship, we both was trying to mesh together, mesh our family together. I had a lot of questions about giving up my security, giving up my apartment and moving in with this woman. You understand? And her family. Because I always, from the time I left my mom in New York, I had my own. Even when I went to college and came back, I moved into my own place. Although I stayed at my mom's house a lot because I was scared to be in my own place together by myself before my kids. But I had my own place. You understand? So therefore, my security was there. I had built that for myself. So I never wanted to give that up. So I stayed, in my place for a while. And then me, can you imagine somebody moving in on you? Moving in with you, we meshing our family and our children together, and she has to give up some of her space. She has to give up half of her bed. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm saying her, because you are now trying to share. And that was me on my side too, on my part too. I knew I had a lot of things. I knew she had a lot of things. What we're going to keep, what we're not going to keep. There's a lot to think about. But when you don't consider those things, you don't consider people's feelings, and you get into these relationships and you are blending things together, and you don't consider those feelings and those things, somebody move on you, you can feel territorial, you can feel like, oh my God, this person is coming to take over, whatever. That relationship is going to go downhill if these things are not what y'all talking about, or y'all not having these discussions. And then you will begin to abuse that person in that relationship, because you want them to go, because you feel suffocated. So suffocating can be all kinds of things. It could be suffocating until that person is holding you hostage and you feel like you're being abused, or it could be suffocating until that person become abusive to you, or you become abusive to that person in that relationship. So that's why communication is always good, because you don't want to step on anyone's toes in that marriage or in that relationship. So when I put the title, I feel suffocated in this relationship, sometimes being with the significant other that you with can be overbearing if you don't have an outlet, if you don't have another place to be. You understand? Sometimes you just need to go out and have another place to be. I don't care if it means going out by yourself, having dinner or lunch or brunch, just so you can inhale and woosah. You're not woosahing. If y'all having breakfast together, like now, we are in because of the pandemic. If you have a small apartment or a small house or a condo or whatever, not that many rooms, you have a big family, whatever, where y'all going? What are y'all going to do? How do you find space? How do you find time away from that individual that you love so much? Just because we want to get away by ourselves, because I'm that species. I need to get away by myself sometime. I need that quiet space. Even if it means me getting up in the corner with my book or with my homework or whatever it is, I need some time alone for myself. If you're not able to verbalize that in your relationship, and that person take it as if you want to cheat on them, if you want to break up, if you want to do that, there's something to think about, baby. There's something to think about. Because it's not always like that. I can't be up under anyone 24 hours, 7 days a week. I'll be sick to my stomach. If that's you, you need to communicate that early on in that relationship, or you're going to be going over a lot of hurdles as you grow and as you go in that relationship. And sometimes it ends not so nice. And other times y'all can agree to agree and walk away from each other, and boom, bam. Later on, y'all friends and y'all come back together. So I'm going to tell y'all can start. I talked. Y'all can start calling in if you want to call in. I am here. Tell me, I want to know, have you ever been in a relationship and you suffocated someone, or someone been very suffocating to you that you couldn't breathe, and you had to have conversations with them? How did those conversations go? What did it look like? What did it sound like to you? Because I know I had those conversations, my wife and I, about us, and we was able to be on that mutual page and that mutual understanding, that agreement. Sometimes she's in the living room watching television. I'm in the bedroom watching television. Sometimes I just got to get away. Sometimes she just got to get away with her and her crocheting. Her and her yarn. She drag her little bag of yarn around here that's in a Snoopy backpack. She go to a designated place in the house and she do her yarning. Put her earphones on her ear. That is her quiet time. Would I get mad at that? Would I get in my feelings about that? No, because we had that talk. We already talked about that. We already communicated that this is something that she would do. This is something that she wants to do. So I cannot be mad at her. So, so I want y'all to call in. Everybody is different, Shannon. You told me once to stay to yourself for too long because you isolate, which causes depression. Well, Shannon, I'm not talking about to those who are already dealing with anxiety, who dealing with depression, who dealing with, some people have different things that they're dealing with that they should not be by themselves for too long, because the idle mind think things that they should not at that time. So when you're going through crises and stuff like that on a mental side of town, it's not good to be by your alone all the time, but you need some alone time too. Everybody needs some healthy alone time too, because that makes us better and it makes us who we are. And again, the number is 240-661-7539 if you want to call in. If you would like to call in, please call in. I would like to hear from you. I would like to hear your stories. I would like to hear suggestions, comments. How do you deal with some things? And I'm going to keep going on until somebody calls in, and then I'll let you speak. Also, those non-healthy relationships turn into control. We all know what control look like, because when you're suffocating a relationship, that person want to know your every whereabouts, your everything. It makes you feel suffocated. It turns into control, and it can turn into abuse after a while. So please, if you get into a relationship, start out having space. Start out giving one another space. Because when you start after that person becomes so attached to you, you're going to have a problem on your hands. So I always tell everybody, when you start in relationships, put everything on the table that you can think of. And as you're going through the dating process before you actually move in or say I do, put everything on the table and discuss it. Put everything on the table and discuss it. Because it's worth discussing. Because when you come down the line later, 2, a year, 3 years, 4 years, and you say I do and things like that, and now you all of a sudden, you was with me 24 hours for 5 years, and it was just us. Now all of a sudden you need space. Why do you need space? Then that person will ask, I would ask that. If you've been with me all this long time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's just been me and you, we work together, we do this, do that, now you need space, I'm going to question that. So to leave no questions, you got to start out that relationship asking those hard questions and see if that relationship in the beginning will survive it. If it does, y'all take another day. You deal with something, you take another day, and you deal with something. And it'll only strengthen you if y'all both are intentional about y'all love and what y'all want out of that relationship that may form a marriage later. Those suffocating relationships can become very mentally and emotionally and physically abusive. You got to be careful with that. Just because someone may not put their hands on you, it doesn't mean that they are not emotionally abusive to you. Abuse is not always physical. It can be emotionally, it can be mental. How do you begin to have those talks so those relationships won't become toxic relationships? A lot of people can hide a lot of things in their relationship. When the cameras are off, oh, it's go time. When them cameras is on and you out in public and you entertaining and you doing whatever, everybody's lovey-dovey, everybody's happy. But when your camera's off and it's not scripted and you're not showing off for nobody, you're not sitting in front of people, what does that relationship look like? What does it look like? What does that friendship look like? What does it look like? So you have to ask yourself those hard questions. You have to dive in. You have to deal with it. Insecurities, that plays a big part in relationships. And we have to all be able to have those tough conversations. Okay, everybody. So come on now. I want some people to call in tonight. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Again, 240-661-7539. Let's talk about it. Also, I want to share something with you all. Again, I'm going to continue to keep talking until someone call in or until it's my time to get up out of here. So tonight I'm making pizza. You know, I made pizza the other night for my family. They love when I make pizza, thin crust pizza. So I'm making pizza tonight for my family. And I'm making chicken Alfredo, spinach pizza, and then I'll do the pepperoni and the cheese for the kids, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, that's what I'm doing tonight after I get out of here. And I may live it so y'all can see how I make my pizza. I'm not sure, but I'll let y'all know. But okay, so I want to share something with you. I knew this young person that was in a relationship, and she was in an abusive relationship. It don't always start out that way. You know, it doesn't always start out that way. You know, a lot of relationships start out loving and positive and all those things that we want it to be. And then all of a sudden it goes from good to great to bad. And she did not make it out with her life because everybody, her brothers and everybody who kept coming to save her, she kept going back to the individual. And it's like crying wolf. My wife said, hurry up, I'm hungry. It's like crying wolf. So when people keep coming to your rescue, and they want to help you in that relationship, they want to help you get out of that relationship, they want to help you as much as they could, and then you continue to keep going back, and you continue to keep going through the court proceedings to press charges, get a stay away warrant, and things like that, then people begin to give up on you. And they no longer come to your aid because they don't believe that you are going to be consistent. You understand? And when you're not consistent, people feel like they're doing more work than you are in that thing that you asked them. You know, so if you're asking people to help you in something, the worst thing you can do is not follow through multiple times, because then you won't be able to get that person to fight for you in the midst of things. You understand? So, and this is when I was younger. You know, this younger, and we used to always see them in a park, and they were so in love. But then all of a sudden he started knocking her around, pushing her around, grabbing her. She had red marks on her and different things like that. The relationship turned bad, and this young lady wound up losing her life at 19 years old, you know. And, you know, we have to speak up. We have to talk about it. So when you are in a suffocating relationship, you have to watch the cues. You have to, you know, be alert. You understand what I'm saying? Don't ignore, you know, the possibilities that this person can be becoming obsessive, or this person can be, you know, they behavior are growing into a pattern, you know, and becoming these negative and bad habits. So you have to say something. And it's not only men who be obsessive over women or suffocating women. It also be some women who are very, you know, abusive with their boyfriends or their husbands. There are women out here who are kind of on and they can do the same thing. Exactly, Sophia. I talk about this all the time because, you know, in our relationships in the LGBTQ plus world, we have a lot of that going on, because a lot of times, in the LGBT community, we've been abused. Most of the time, we've been in those abusive relationships. Most of the time, we've been sexually abused and harassed. So a lot of us sometimes don't know how to treat someone loving and kind in that relationship. And then sometimes we are new to it, and we know how to treat folks, and then folks don't know how to treat you because they think that you are gullible. They think that they can just do whatever to you. And when you share all of you with that person that you're in love with, they use it against you. So you also have to be careful what you share with people, because they would use it against you. You think you can share everything with that person. It's now that my wife and I became married that we able to share everything with each other, even if we choose to share something of our past, because we know and trust them that they're not going to throw it back in our face. You understand? So, I mean, relationships are so hard. It can start so beautiful, but it can end so ugly. It can end so ugly, whether you get out with your life or you're not. It's still an ugly process. So that's why you have to know the signs when someone is suffocating you. You understand? And you could be even in a loving, committed relationship and be suffocating in that relationship. You know? So we have to be careful what we do. We have to be careful what we say. We have to be careful what we don't say, because our actions speak louder than words in relationships. So I just want to just say tonight, you know, have talks, communicate, lay it on the table, be honest. You're not going to hurt that person feeling that that person love you the way they say they love you. Have those hard, deep conversations with them. Some people don't know how to love. Some people do not know how to love. Exactly. Some people do ignore the signs because they say they're in love. And they claim they love because they feel that love. Because some people have been abused. So when you give them a little bit of attention, a little bit of love, honey, please. They'll let you in so wide that they don't see the signs. They don't see anything. And yes, honesty. Yes. Some people don't know how to love. And you have to say, you know, I haven't been in a relationship before, a loving relationship. So I really don't know how to, but I know I love you. I really feel something for you. And because people say that word with their mouth so much. I love you, I love you, I love you. But don't know how to love you. Because they've probably been in an abusive relationship with someone who told them that they love them all the time. This is what love looks like? So then when they get out that relationship, they do the same thing to that person who are in that relationship, excuse me, with them. And then they wind up repeating that cycle over. So sometimes you have to teach that person who say they love you and they love you, oh baby, that's not how love go. You know, when y'all having deep conversations and the conversation get heated and you say, listen, I'm going to walk away because I don't want to say nothing that's going to hurt you. I need to walk away and step away from this conversation so I don't know what to say. So if you can give me a minute, that'll be great. And you begin to walk away and they start grabbing on you, pulling it. Oh, that's a sign for me. That is a deep sign for me because I watched my mom be abused. So those are signs for me. There's different love languages. It is, you know, we talked about love languages a couple of weeks earlier on in my show. So you can go back and get an episode. I'm telling you would love it. Me and my co-host did. But maybe we'll come back around and do another one. There are different love languages. You absolutely right. And you learn with your partner those. Man, if me and my wife go to a party or we go to somebody's house or whatever, we know how to just look at each other and give each other what eyes we got to give each other for us to be able to say, okay, it's time to go. We don't even have to say a word. We don't have to meet. We don't have to pull each other off on the side. We can even look at each other and we be like, oh, my body language will tell her, all right, it's time for me to get out of here. All right, see y'all later. Good night. Take my wife and be gone. You understand what I'm saying? My wife, I can look at her and I don't have to tell her anything and she knows when I need it. You understand what I'm saying? So those love languages, by just looking at people, or it doesn't, again, my last week episode is you always don't have to wind up in a bed with your significant other. There's a lot of other things you can do to let them know that you feeling them. There's a lot of times that you could be making love and don't have to lay in that bed to do it. So that's what I'm saying, you guys. We as LGBTQA+, and even all those in the heterosexual world, we all do the same thing when it comes to relationships, as far as making love, falling in love, all that stuff like that. It doesn't change. It's universal. So we all can learn from one another. And sometimes it don't work. Tara, what you going to do? Sometimes it don't work, but do we give up? Do we give up? If you love that person, and if that person is worth that time you put in to teach them what it's about, you keep going. I'm telling you, it is that grown woman thing, you know, and it grows with you. You know, you just don't learn it off back sometimes. But for some of us who's been in, you know, different relationships and have learned from those relationships, then that's amazing. You begin to evolve together when you get that other individual and you say you love and you profess your love and y'all want to grow together and stuff like that, I'm telling you, honesty is the best policy at this moment in time in life. And I told everybody last week, yo, if you wasn't booed up before the COVID-19, don't get booed up now. Stay by yourself for a while, work on you. Because right now you don't need it. You don't need it right now because there's a lot of stuff that's going on. I hear people going to COVID-19 parties to see who's going to get it, who's not going to get it. Nah, that's not what, now that is not because if you don't love yourself enough to protect yourself from something like that, then you can't love nobody else. See, those are those things I'm talking about that is so ignorant and immature. You're not being mature. You're not being responsible. I don't need no one like that in my life. You know, especially in my time and age. And a lot of young people, I try to encourage them to come on these shows because they get to learn a couple of things from us older folks. So they'll know how to treat that significant person in their life or that relationship that they're trying to develop. Because we can give them some pointers and cues. Because our young people think they know everything. My mama said, while you know everything, get out before you don't know nothing. So get out now. You know? So I tell my girls the same thing. Why you know everything? Why you got everything under control? Leave before you don't have no control no more. You know? So, you know, we have to be patient in those relationships, you know? So I tell everybody all the time, we are not perfect. We are not perfect beings. We got to all learn and evolve together in this thing. But if that person ain't willing to go with you, you got to say, listen, baby, even in the midst of loving that person, you sometimes got to walk away from it. Because sometimes in the end, and the end result that you get from it is not all the time worth it. People will overlook the person loving them for the person using them. Girl, Tara, that happens all the time. Yep, some people run and don't even put the time in. But let me ask, Tara, you are so right. Some people overlook the person. The person that is in love with you and the person that you really, that's the person that you know you really need in your life, but you don't want because the other person brings you excitement and danger and stuff like that, and they interesting. You go run off into the sunset with them and find out 10 years later that was the wrong person. And the right person that's sitting right in front of your face, you ignore. You ignore that person that gives you energy. The person who you run and you cry on that gives you life and speak, you know, existence to you and speak, you know, love and tell you, you know, how wonderful you are and boost you up just to go out there with that same idiot that's bringing you down. Have you ever had that? It's called being in a friend zone. As far as I know, it's called being in a friend zone. You in that friend zone. You understand? And a person that don't deserve you, you just running off with doing all that. But then when their heart get broken or they going through something, they come right back and they lay on your couch. They lay on your lap. They fall in your arms. So you can build them back up. And then all of a sudden, they in the next person's arms. You know, so we have to, you know, yeah, those relationship things. And then some people don't take the time to build that relationship because everybody want that microwavable relationship. You understand? They want that microwavable love. You understand? Where everything got to go fast. Boom, 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 boom. You got to get it. Got to hit it on the first night. You got to do this, do that, do that, do that, do that. Yeah, they want it fast. They don't want to put the work in. Then when things don't work out, they out. You do one thing wrong, you move one way wrong, they don't like it, whatever, they out. They won't have that healthy confrontation with you about the relationship. You know, they won't have that healthy talk to you about the relationship. They don't want to hear that because they want to go to the next, they so-called the best thing. They don't have time for it. And in order for anything to work, you have to make time. You have to make time for the relationship. It takes work. It just don't be like it is. You just don't, I mean, people, you can fall in love at first sight. I'm not telling you can't. You can fall in love at first sight. Things can work out for you for the next couple of months, even the next couple of years. And all of a sudden, bam, boom, car accident happened. Because y'all didn't deal with the situations that been going on the whole relationship. Y'all pushed them under the rug. And you ignore what was sitting right in front of your face. So it takes time to build up to that. If you don't love the one you with, you have to love the one who loves you. You're better off. Exactly, Sophia. Sometimes it comes down to that. You can't love the one you with. And I'm not saying y'all to be in a relationship, a one-sided relationship. I call those one-sided relationships when you are loving on that person so much. Yes, it does, Bishop. My Bishop is on. Hey, Bishop. It takes time. It does. It does. You can't be in a relationship and be the only one in that relationship. You cannot. Sometimes we have to have that hard talk about, I got to move on. You understand? You got to have that hard talk about, listen, it's time for me to go. They may not want to hear you. Listen. And you can be crying out so bad that that person needs to hear you. That you need more out of that relationship. Nothing is easy. You're absolutely right, Sophia. You could be crying out so bad to that person that you need them. You need to have that conversation. Y'all need this, y'all need that. And that person still ain't feeling it. They're not hearing you. So sometimes the person that you love, the one that you with, that sometimes you can't love the one that you with. You got to love the one that loves you. You understand? Because the person that you with may not love you as much as you love them. And also, ladies, gentlemen, everybody who's on here, if you with someone that you love them more than they love you, and you think it's going to change, well, I tell you, you'll be waiting and waiting and waiting. If someone says, I don't love you like you love me. It's me, not you. I can learn to love you, though. The same way you walked in, that's the same way you need to walk out, but faster. Because it's not going to change. No one can learn to love you. Y'all can learn to love to do different things, and y'all can learn together to grow and go on vacation and different things like that. Learn new things that make y'all go, what goes bump in the night and all that stuff like that. Y'all can learn all that. But you cannot make the person learn to love you. You can't grow into that as far as that. Oh, you love me, baby. You so in love with me. I'm not in love with you like that, but I can grow to love you. How do you do that? Sophia, we can have a talk. You can inbox me after the show. Yeah. So, I mean, if you like. So, I'm telling you, you have to try some things. You have to try some things. And even if you're in those relationships that nothing works, sometimes you have to sit with yourself. Sometimes you have to ask yourself that hard question. What is it about me? Is there something about me? Sometimes we have to evaluate ourselves. We have to look in the mirror and actually evaluate ourselves. And some people will make you question who you are in that relationship. And if you have been that person that you know you are, and that loving person, and that considerate person, that kind person, that person who consider others and, take care of the person that you love in that relationship, and they got you questioning who you are, sometimes it's time for us to move on. Don't let people take away from you what you brought into the relationship. If you bring a lot of good, because they had to fall in love with you for something. If you bring a lot of good in that relationship or whatever, don't let people question you and make you out of this bad person. So then when they walk away and it doesn't work anymore, you get with somebody else and you make that person pay for everything that other person did to you. So you always wind up finding yourself alone. Always. Because you make the mistake in thinking that I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. Nobody is ever going to love me. Aw. Yeah, Sophia. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. People don't grow to love you, baby. They're not plants. We have to evolve together in our emotions. We can help each other with our emotions and how we view things and think of things. But when it comes to love in the heart, we can learn to love a puppy, or we can learn to love a cat. I don't like snakes. My brother who passed loved snakes. Those are things like that we can do without. But when you're in a relationship and you're working for the common goal to be together, to be married, to be each other's soulmate, it has to be there. Y'all can grow together while y'all loving on each other and learning what each other like and dislike about the relationship or about things. My wife loved portobello mushrooms, but she sometimes break out if she eats too many. I can't stand mushrooms. But doesn't mean that I don't make them. If I'm not allergic to them and I'm not going to die, doesn't mean that I don't make them for her. I'll make them for her. I will make them. Anything she wants. As long as it doesn't mean that if I touch it, I'm going to get an allergic reaction and die. She would not have me to make anything like that. She would not even bring it in the house. She would have to go have her own special dinner by herself in her own space and have her portobello mushrooms. You understand what I'm saying? Love make you come home every night. Real love make you consider the person and maybe allow that person to take the first bite of food before you do. That's what love makes you do. Love makes you run their bath water for them. Massage their feet when they tell you, I'm tired because I've been working all day. To scratch their back because they're not feeling good. Take them to the doctor. Do whatever it is. Let them lay with you. Watch a movie that you really care absolutely nothing about. But because they love it, they're going to love you. That's what love do for you. My wife know I like all them tearjerker movies and Hallmark movies and family stuff. My wife know I love Christmas movies. Because she know I love Christmas, and that's one of my favorite holidays. That's me and my sister's favorite holiday that passed. My wife was in there the other night watching a Christmas movie. She passed a Christmas movie. She said, ooh, Christmas season. Oh, God. Christmas is far away. But you know I get into my movies in August and September. You know my wife sat there and watched a Christmas movie with me. Even though I can tell that in her body language, you can tell. You've been with that person for a long time. You love them. You can tell. She did not want to watch that movie. But she sat there with me. With a smile on her face. You know what she even did? She got up and made me some popcorn. Girl, that's love. You know, that's love. Here it is, July, and we're watching a Christmas movie. And then the grandbabies was like, oh, Christmas. They came and they watched the movie too. Yes, love will always have you do things out of your norm. Exactly. Yes, they will have you stressed out. Hey, sis, how you doing? I miss you. Hey, my baby is on. Hey, Cookie. I'm just saying that, you know, I thank you all for joining in tonight. But sometimes in these suffocating relationships, we have to be aware. We have to be aware. And I want to get back to that. And I can't stress that. When you in a suffocating relationship, you know those signs. It gets worse. You have to talk about it immediately. You have to be able to talk about it. You have to feel like it's okay to talk about it. You understand? So I don't want nobody checking for me every time, checking my phone for me. Or every time I turn around, I go in the bathroom, they looking through your phone. Or they doing all this stuff like that. Oh, suffocating people can become really toxic very fast. Become really abusive very fast. So know the signs, know the warning signs. When somebody got to ask you every time you getting up and you take your phone with you, who you calling, who you texting? They hear you on the phone, who you calling, who you texting, where you been? Charting how long you went out when you say you're going to the store. Counting how many miles it take you to get home from work and why you late. You 2 minutes late. It doesn't take you that long to get from your job from point A to point B. Y'all better listen to those warning signs. It's not cute. It's not cute. Maybe cute the first time they saying, baby, where you been? You've been out of the bed too long. I miss you. But when they get obsessive with that, why can't you do that here? If you're on your computer or you working, why can't you do that in bed? Maybe I want to work privately. Maybe I want to be in a quiet space. Maybe I just want to be here. So you got to evaluate that. You got to ask yourself, is that healthy? So again, I just want to thank you all for joining tonight. If you have any questions, like I said, hit my inbox. I will be glad to converse with you. If there's anybody on here that need prayer, let me know. I know there's a lot that's going on with us on today, and I don't ignore that. But I still like to enlighten people and bring some light to our dark places of things. Because trust me, I just lost my aunt a week and a half ago. You know, my cousin is fighting the COVID. You know, and it's a lot of stuff going on everywhere with everybody's family. And I don't ignore it. And I have not forgotten what we are facing. But sometimes you have to step away from all those things that make you feel dark or bring a sudden cloud over you so you can step into some light and the lightness of things. And me encouraging, empowering people, that's what I do. That's what I love to do. So I'm asking you tonight to find something that brings you in that happy space and everything that's going on in this world today. And just be one with it. And know that thing give you that peace that you need at that time. It's okay. And for those of y'all, let me say this too. For those of y'all who in this Thank you. See, this is my baby from New York. Hi, honey. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And let me tell you, though, those who are by yourself and you're not in that relationship right now, take your time. Take your time. I know a lot of us are pressed because we want to be in or be in love or be with somebody, be booed up. Hey, sis, how you doing, Joanne? I love you. And want to be booed up and want to be all these things with people. Got you. I'm going to call you when I finish cooking. And want to be booed up and stuff. Love you. Be in love with you. You understand? Be in love with you. You know, take that time. Get yourself ready for that person that God will send your way. Or you will fall in love with and meet one day. It's okay. I was single for a whole year and some months after a relationship that I got out of. And it only strengthened me to know me and to be able to learn me all over again. Because after you done spent that time with that person in that dead-end relationship, and you have given up so much of yourself to be with that person because you thought it was worth it, you sometimes have to sit by yourself, with yourself, before you commit yourself to somebody else. You need to be healthy and whole again. So I spent a lot of time with God, as I do now. I spent a lot of time with prayer because I had to get myself back. People in unhealthy relationships make you think you're crazy, make you think something was wrong with you. You have to evaluate yourself all over again. You have to find out, girl, ain't nothing wrong with me. But when you're supposed to be in love or in love with somebody so bad and they treat you so bad, it does something mentally to your inside. And it makes you question yourself. Trust me, it does. It makes you question yourself. But let me just enlighten you tonight and say you are the only true you. God loves you in spite of anything. Because I know God loved me. For many years, people tell me that God did not affirm me. God do not agree with my lifestyle. Boo, I don't live a lifestyle. This is my life. I am a gay lesbian woman that is married to a beautiful woman. And I am happy and proud. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that God loves me. In spite of anything. If he can be in love with a murderer, he can love somebody who harmed somebody, did something to somebody, but because I'm in a loving, committed relationship, I'm supposed to believe that God don't love me. I did. But now I'm free of that crap. God loves you. And I'm telling you that tonight. So if nobody else loves you and you feel that people took advantage of you all your life and you feel that you have just been down in the dumps and you feel that you don't have nobody that will speak up for you and accept you for who you are, God always does. No matter what we do, God always takes us back. No matter how we are, come as filthy as you want. God will dust you off, make you look like $1 trillion on what you are and what people told you wasn't. And just allow you to begin again. So, again, I tell you, you are somebody because God don't make junk. And you are loved if you're not loved by anybody else. So, tonight I leave you with that. Be encouraged. Be encouraged and help uplift and encourage other people. Again, this is Randomly Speaking. I come on every Friday at 7 p.m. on my live. Please join me. I'm also on Facebook. Like I said, I got a lot of wonderful things going on. So sorry that COVID had stopped a lot of things out, and movement thought that they would stop a lot of things that I was doing, but I'm still coming forth. I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. It's going to take just a little longer to do because they're trying to shut down everything. So now the printer is, my magazine has been on a little short hold, you all, but it is still in the works. So look forward to that. I'll put y'all on and I'll let y'all know when I'll be having, when my magazine is coming up, when it's coming out, and I'll let y'all know in advance so that you guys can come on, because I'm a party on Zoom when it come out with my magazine release. I'm gonna have a Zoom release party, and I want you guys to be, thank you so much, I want you guys to be a part of that, and just say that I love you all. God bless y'all again. For the individual, Sophia, if I told you to inbox me if you feel like it. That'll be cool. I don't have no problem with that. And I'm going to call you, nephew. I'm going to call you as soon as I leave off this show, because I love and miss you so much. So to everybody on tonight, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I will tell her. Music. I love you all. I love you all. And thank you all for giving my wife all the birthday love yesterday. For her birthday, she turned 40. She said, I'm 40 fine. And yes, she is. I told her, yes, you are gorgeous. So she turned 49 on yesterday, and she had a great birthday. Last year, I didn't think my wife was going to make it, but God pulled her through. So God be the glory. So I thank you all for giving her all the love and all the birthday shout outs. She was so overly whelmed, all the phone calls. She got so much Cash App, and she was able to do her shopping spree online, and she loved the girl, love her Mac. So, you know, she just had a wonderful time, and I just owe it all to all you people out there who, you know, showed her some love on my page and her page. So I thank you all so very much. Thank you for, again, tuning in to Randomly Speaking. I'll see you guys back here, God willing. God keep breath in my body on Friday at 7 p.m. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and you have a blessed night. I'm out. This is my time. Later.